These comments have only been provoked, primarily by people who know better. Since the beginning of our practice in 2001, and well before we had things like an employee manual or a reputation, we had some understandings amongst ourselves. One of the most important was that no matter what, and no matter when, and no matter where, if the call came, we would always bail each other out of jail. That agreement remains today, 23 years later. Fast forward to the spring of 2008. We were finishing up a construction project near Butterworth Hospital. As part of the project, one of the city's light poles had to move 15 feet to the west. The project was important. The pole was going to move. But after 6 months of submitting documents and having them repeatedly rejected for opaque and sometimes ridiculous reasons, we were 2 weeks from opening, with no approval and no schedule for the move. In desperation, I called my city commissioner, Commissioner Bliss, begging for help. With her assistance, I found myself on the 9th floor of City Hall at 5 p.m. on a Friday in an office seated next to the magnificent Oz and across from the Wicked Witch of Public Works and his winged monkey. The first 60 minutes of the meeting was elliptical and unproductive. I was frustrated, angry, and my pointing to the data on the table became heavier and louder. My voice was rising. Oz interrupted me. "Now, Ted, take it easy. We don't want this to turn physical." "Well, it's about to," yelled the Wicked Witch at me across the table. I turned to the magnificent Oz with my arms open and said, "What would you have me do, oh great Oz?" 15 minutes later, I left with weekend homework and a commitment that the pole would be moved by the following Wednesday. I walked out and called Rosalynn, getting her voicemail. I then called my client to give him the news while sitting on the steps of Calder Plaza. My client, Leo, was an old Detroit real estate guy. We were kindred spirits. I told him the news. He was happy, but that's not enough for Leo. He pressed for details. So I recounted the Wicked Witch threatening to take me outside to teach me a lesson. Leo was wound up. "Did you let him have it, Teddy?" "Well, sir," I replied, "I didn't think it was in the best interest of the project to be making this call from Kent County Jail. So no, I did not." "I'd have bailed you out, Teddy." "Thanks, Leo." I hung up the phone. Walking back to my office on Oaks, Rosalynn called me back. I sat on the steps of Bar Devani recounting the meeting. We commiserated about how the yellow brick road wasn't getting any shorter. I told her about my conversation with Leo and how I didn't think it would be a good idea to be making these calls from jail. She bust out laughing when I told her that Leo promised to bail me out. "I'd have bailed you out too, Teddy." We're all going to have a new mayor in 6 months. Choose wisely. When the project is important and that pole has got to move, get yourself a mayor who will bail you out of jail. Get yourself a mayor like my favorite mayor, Rosalynn Bliss.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. You're going to make me cry, and I haven't even started yet. Whew. There's some seats up here, too, by the way, and over here if anyone wants a seat. And you're also welcome to come over here on each side if you want to get closer. I see lots of folks way in the back, but if you want to hang out there by the bar, that's good, too. Ted, where'd Ted go? He already ran off. Hopefully he's getting a drink. Ted, thank you so much for that introduction. I'll still bail you out of jail, and I always will, you know that. And fortunately, since I've been mayor and we have a new city manager, we have better processes in place. Still work to do, but we have come a long way, thanks to a great team. My goodness. Spring. I love spring. I love that we're having this in the spring. Usually it's in the cold winter months, so it's good to have spring here. Because spring is a time for growing, and it is only fitting that we are gathered here at our farmers market. The changing of the seasons remind us about the march of time. And it was nearly 20 years ago when you, I know, can you believe, oh goodness. Ah! I can't see that, that's probably a good thing. Oh my goodness, yeah, 20 years ago, can you believe that? But it was 20 years ago when you gave me the great honor to serve our city. First as city commissioner, and then as mayor. So I want to thank you. I want to thank you for giving me this incredible opportunity to serve our community at such a pivotal time. And I want to thank all of you. Thank you for the work that you do to make Grand Rapids an ever more beautiful and just, thriving, and livable city. The spirit of citizenship and commitment to nourish and cultivate our community is one of our greatest strengths. Amazing and creative people working together to make a positive difference in their neighborhood and for our city. That is what built this market. In the early 1900s, the Federation of Women's Clubs saw a need to connect residents with affordable food options. So they planted the idea of public markets and convinced city leaders to act. It was 100 years later that that same spirited grassroots activism drove the rehabilitation of this market into what it is today. It was over 10 years ago that the neighbors had a vision for improving an increasingly tired, still loved, but a tired facility. Resourceful community leaders like Christine Helms-Miletic and Ted Lott did a remarkable amount of hard work to turn that vision into a plan and rally support. They planted the seeds. City government followed their lead. Philanthropy stepped up in a really generous way, but it was neighbors. It was the neighbors who dreamed of improving this place. They led the charge. They brought it all together, and they ultimately made it happen. Today, this market has grown into a vibrant hub right here in the heart of the Midtown neighborhood. It is a regional asset connecting farmers and food creators and artists to our community and bringing healthy and affordable food to all, just as it was envisioned. I know, I love this place. And this is the story of how our city grows and thrives. It is because of passionate individuals and small groups of enthusiastic people who genuinely love our community. They see a common problem or a significant opportunity. They plant the seed of an idea to do something about it. They work hard to organize. They organize support, and they nurture a supportive environment where that idea can bloom into reality. And who do they do it for? They do it for their community, for our community. Think about some of the most popular and cherished community assets that exist today. The creation of Heritage Hill Historic District, for example, first of its kind in the nation, was led by our beloved Mayor John Logie and a small group of dedicated neighbors. It was a group of passionate people who established Huff Park and Pleasant Park, built the Van Andel Arena, saved Coit School, saved the historic 6th Street Bridge, installed, yes, installed La Grande Vitesse, the Calder Stabile, now the symbol of our city. The list goes on and on with visible results all over our city. All initiatives led by passionate and focused people who aspire to improve our community's collective well-being. It wasn't local government that invigorated and reinvigorated Ionia Street, or Wealthy Street, or Bridge Street, Leonard Street, Granville Avenue, and increasingly Boston Square. It was people with a vision and a willingness to act. It was those entrepreneurial investors, our small business owners, our nonprofit leaders who saw the opportunities not only for their own livelihoods, but for the long-term betterment of our community. They planted the seeds of community improvement that grew like beautiful trees, and today we all sit under the branches, enjoying the shade and benefits. The seed planters are many, far, far too many for me to name tonight. Yet the legacy of their stewardship surrounds all of us. This legacy that I am so proud of is the legacy of the culture of our city, and it lives on. Just think about some of the most exciting and important initiatives happening today in our city. The effort to restore Valley Field. I saw Paul out there. The rebuilding of MLK Park Lodge. The ongoing progress to remove those finicky, obsolete dams from the Grand River. It's gonna happen. The multitude of efforts to eliminate racial disparities across sectors. The initiative to build an outdoor amphitheater, the organizing work around a proposed arts and culture collective, the establishment and growth of the Center for Community Transformation, the creation of Plaza Roosevelt. I know, I love that place. The efforts to build wealth and opportunities in our neighborhoods of focus. Yes. These are just some of the many seeds of the next generation of growth for our city. One of the greatest joys of my time in public office is that I have been fortunate to be surrounded by people who do not only believe building an ever better Grand Rapids is possible, but who also act to make that possibility a reality. So many of you in this room, we have worked together for years, and I'm so grateful. And it's a little ironic because one reason I'm delivering this farewell address tonight is because a small group of very determined and hardworking residents came together and passed term limits on local elected officials. One person's happy. I love you, Brian. So this is my final year of service and my final State of the City address. But I am not done planting and nurturing seeds in our city. And I'm not done because I love this city. I love this community, and I know that you love it too. I sincerely hope that all of you will stay engaged and involved. That is what I plan to do as I step aside from public office. This active citizenship is truly what makes our community so special. It differentiates us from other cities. It differentiates us from other cities. And the next mayor, they are going to need you too, just like I did. It is important to look at how far we have come to keep in mind how far we can go. And we have certainly accomplished a great deal together during my time as mayor. Today, our neighborhood business districts are stronger than they've ever been. We have corridor improvement districts, not just downtown like it was when I was first elected, but across our city. We have improved community police relations, funded Cure Violence, established a mental health co-response team, built greater transparency and trust, and today the city is as safe as ever. So please join me in thanking our amazing chief, Chief Winstrom, for his leadership. And Mr. Brandon Davis for his hard work. Because of many of you in this room, we enhanced our public park system. We opened swimming pools. And now we are building the Grand River Greenway, connecting trail networks all throughout our region. Thank you, Bill. Bill's giving me a yes. We have put new policies and tools in place to encourage more accessible housing development. We are investing in low-income and affordable housing, and I am so grateful to be serving with my colleagues on the City Commission who are united in this effort. So commissioners, thank you for being here and your work. We deployed a community bike, scooter, and rideshare program, and we have added over 100 miles of bike lanes so that it is safer, easier, and more affordable to get around. We have a healthy budget stabilization fund for the city in the event of financial emergencies, which I know my city manager, Mr. Mark Washington, appreciates. Thank you, City Manager. We are modernizing our fire department facilities, and right now we are building two new fire stations that will significantly improve service on the southeast side of our city. We have installed over 70,000 smoke detectors in over 13,000 homes at no cost to the residents. We're really grateful for Chief Brown and his leadership and everyone within our fire department for their work. We strengthened our commitment to building a sustainable, resilient city and have moved closer to reaching our carbon neutral goal. Sorry to my fellow mayors, but we are one of the best cities in the country. I love you guys. All the mayors are all together in one line, including former Mayor Huizinga. I love it. But we're a great city, and we're a great place to start a career and a business and raise a family. And today, we are increasingly a city with more opportunity, possibility, and hope. Yet, we must continue to work to ensure that there are opportunities, possibilities, and hope for everyone, particularly those who historically have not fully benefited from our city's success. This will remain a priority for me both as I finish my term and after I leave office. So as I look to the months ahead, I still have 7 months. Lots of people have asked me that. I have 7 months to go. I got a lot to get done. And as I look to the 7 months that I have left to serve as mayor, I am focused on a couple outstanding priorities to keep our city building momentum moving forward. The first one is securing support for transformational assets by increasing the visitor-funded lodging tax. It's really difficult to imagine our community without our best-in-class arena, convention center, and performance hall. These seeds were planted in the 1980s and 90s, before many of us served. And as they have grown, they have catalyzed significant countywide benefits. Taken together, these assets not only provide Grand Rapidians, all of us, with amazing cultural and entertainment options, they have helped elevate the vibrancy of our urban core and driven more than 11 billion, with a B, 11 billion worth of investments in hotels, residential towers, office buildings, art and cultural institutions, other entertainment venues, and small businesses, locally owned small businesses. These facilities have been instrumental in our ability to establish Grand Rapids as a premier destination that today consistently, as Birgit said, consistently punches above our weight class and competes with larger cities like Nashville and Milwaukee and Minneapolis, to name a few. As a result, visitor spending stimulates our local economy to the tune of more than $82 million a year. That is local jobs, revenue for our local businesses, and local hotel stays. Those hotel stays are really important for a couple of reasons. One, there's a lot of them. We welcome, it's true. When I looked at these numbers, and Doug, I know Doug Small's here somewhere. He validated all of them. We welcome and host more than 9 million overnight visitors every year. 9 million every year. And we know for a fact that almost 90% of those visitors come from outside of Kent County. 2, our modest existing tax on those hotel stays is a critical piece of the funding dedicated to building and supporting destination assets, public destination assets like the arena and the convention center. So in other words, tourism helps pay for Grand Rapids and Kent County. Our guests, they come and they go, but their money stays here, providing significant benefits to Grand Rapids residents and helps to support our community's high quality of life. Today, we have a remarkable opportunity to add 2 new exciting assets to our destination. The amphitheater, proposed on the south side of downtown, will transform an obsolete public works yard into a vibrant place for people and entertainment right there on our river's edge. The project will significantly enhance the allure and the vibrancy of our riverfront. And similarly, the soccer stadium proposed on the west side will transform a gray surface parking lot into a vibrant hub for community sport and spirit. Both of these projects, just as the arena and the convention center did 20 years ago, will catalyze valuable investment in new housing that we desperately need, new business prospects, and other opportunities that will pay dividends for decades to come. And while both of these projects are happening in our city, they will undoubtedly deliver countywide benefits and have a positive regional impact. Increasing the visitor tax is critical to building these projects and unlocking the benefits that they most certainly will deliver. So in August, every single one of us will have the opportunity to go and vote on this important question and these exciting projects. I want to thank the county commissioners who are here tonight. I've seen many of them. Thank you to those who voted yes to putting this on the ballot in August. We appreciate your work and service. I truly hope you all will join me in voting yes for visitor-funded community assets that will benefit our community far into the future. And as we look to invest in important assets, we must also keep our focus on investing in people. One of the ongoing critical and challenging issues is ensuring that people have access to safe and stable housing. During my remaining months in office, I will continue to focus my time on improving and growing our efforts to address homelessness. Over the past several years, we have worked really hard to find stable housing solutions for members of our community who experience homelessness. Homelessness is a problem that I am convinced we can solve. And doing just that is key to making our community the community that we aspire to be. We have made progress on many fronts, thanks to many of the people in this room, or I guess not room, space, and to the organizations in our community. So last year, the city, we elevated our partnership with Community Rebuilders, which focused on rapidly connecting housing solutions to families and individuals experiencing chronic homelessness. Since 2022, Community Rebuilders has helped more than 400 individuals secure housing. That's more than 100 people per year in the past several years. Thank you, we should clap. In 2023 alone, they secured permanent housing for 23 of the most vulnerable individuals experiencing chronic homelessness. Those are individuals who have been homeless for at least a year. Earlier this year, Degage Ministries partnered with Trinity Health to open the first bridge housing program in the state, specifically for women experiencing chronic homelessness. Heartside Landing will provide temporary shelter and permanent supportive housing with personalized programming, serving at least 25 women with the most complex needs in our community. There are similar programs across the state, and if you look at them, or across the nation, not in our state, this is the first one, and if you look at other programs, they have achieved an 85% success rate, and this program fills a huge gap in our system. I also want to give a shout out and thanks to Kent County, Network 180, and Trinity Health, because this month we opened the Behavioral Health Crisis Center. This center will provide walk-in behavioral health services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The heart of that program is delivering rapidly accessible intensive treatment that helps to stabilize most behavioral health crises within 24 hours. And later this year, Community Rebuilders and Einhorn Investors will open the Nexus Initiative, actually just right down the street, a supportive bridge housing facility for individuals, again, experiencing chronic homelessness. These are exceptional efforts that are critical to building a more comprehensive housing system, particularly for those who are most vulnerable. But, many of you knew there was a but. Monica knows this. We have more work to do. We have a lot more work to do. And I refuse to accept that it is inevitable that some people fall through the cracks. If there is any city that can end chronic homelessness, I believe that it is Grand Rapids. Tonight, I am joining partners across our community to do just that. Let's come together with a clear goal to house 100 individuals who have been chronically homeless by the end of this year. Tonight, I join the continuum of care in this important effort. Yet to reach that goal, it requires all of us, from every sector. The changes that we have talked about for years need to be put into action. We need greater alignment among our service providers. We need an effective, coordinated entry system that allows us to match our most vulnerable residents, not only with the housing resources, but the wraparound services necessary to ensure that every single one of them can remain housed long-term. We need a detailed systems map to identify where the gaps are and where we need services and resources. We need a homelessness impact dashboard that drives more transparency and accountability into our efforts. And this will allow us to better understand where we are making progress and what areas we need attention. We must be data informed and, most importantly, action oriented. As our county administrator, Al Vandenberg, always says, let's get her done, right? Thank you, Al, for being here. But the same public-private partnerships and collaborative spirit that we have used to solve challenges right here in our community so many times can help drive success in this area as well. We truly can make a significant stride toward a future where homelessness is not just managed, but it is substantially reduced. And I believe we can build on the great work that has happened, the work that has happened for decades, and the progress that we have seen over the last year. And we can get to a point where homelessness is truly rare, brief, and non-reoccurring. I believe we can do it because we remain a place where dedicated people get involved and aspire to make a difference. That really is the special strength of our community, and it always has been. The global media company Forbes recognized it just the other day. They wrote that Grand Rapids is the best right-sized city in America, with the people and the want to needed to continue to drive forward. Think about that. The people with the want to. That means the desire, the drive, and the dedication to have an impact. With so many thoughtful, caring, and capable people right here in our community, I remain optimistic about what lies ahead. That we can continue to invest in transformational projects. That inclusion can be at the heart of our work and growth. And that we can be a city where people feel like they belong. We have so many positive things happening in our city. Remarkable access to educational and career opportunities, vibrant and active neighborhoods, extremely high quality of life. But our biggest and most important resource is you, our people, and your commitment to our community. It always has been, and it always will be. I will be stepping away as mayor, but Grand Rapids is in very good hands because Grand Rapids is in your hands. Our city is a better city, a stronger city, a kinder city because of you. You all inspired me to work harder, always aspired me to do better, and to never, ever give up, even on those really hard days. Finally tonight, thank you, Bill. Give me a chance to take a drink of water. So finally tonight, we are not leaving here without talking about trees. You all know that one of my priorities has been planting and caring for trees. Of course, though, it was Dottie Clune, Barbara Orr, Ruth Kelly, love you, Ruth, Carol Moore, who really first planted the idea of an urban forest plan for our city. Their advocacy ultimately led to the adoption of our 40% tree canopy goal, a better system to map our trees, and more effectively managing trees when they are sick. We have planted more than 13,000 trees across our city. And that was just during my time as mayor. And that's one of several accomplishments that I'm really proud of. So practically, trees are important for so many reasons. They produce oxygen, filter out air pollution, absorb noise, help calm traffic, manage stormwater, improve property values, and reduce people's stress levels. The latest scientific research tells us that an abundance of trees on your neighborhood block simply makes you feel younger and healthier. Imagine that. I also believe that trees are something of a metaphor for personal and community growth. Everything begins just like a tree, with a seed, whether it is an idea, a dream, or a city. The seed starts small and it grows over time. It is patient work and sometimes difficult to see progress as the seed grows slowly and quietly. This is especially true at the very beginning when we are most eager to see visible progress. And I know that the community organizers among us know what I am talking about. And then with good care, attention, and nourishment, the seed sprouts and starts to grow into a tree, branching out in new and sometimes unexpected directions, at times bending in the face of strong winds, but with deep roots not breaking. Planting trees in our city is an investment in the future. They are a symbol of hope, a commitment to making our community a better place, an act to leave a legacy that will continue to grow and flourish for generations long after we are gone. So, you all see these lovely trees around you. Please take one home with you tonight. Plant it and nurture it with care. My hope is that it becomes a lasting reminder of the unique culture of engagement that our city is known for and that makes us so special. Grand Rapids is a city where you have the opportunity to plant a seed or a tree or an idea or a dream and have an impact on our community for generations to come. A city where you can be a part of progress and change if you want to. The strength of our city is truly in all of our hands. So please, grab a tree on your way out, go home, get out your shovel, and keep on planting good things for the benefit of our community. I want to thank all of you for being here tonight, for all that you do in our community. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to serve. I am so, so grateful. Thank you.